Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, this is the Weekly Mouse for November 9th, 2024. Can you believe it? It's been a heck of a month. A lot of news, a lot of things happening. So I figure, why not sit back and relax with you guys for a few minutes? Spend a Saturday night for a little while doing some sketches and just seeing where the day takes us. Hopefully everybody else is having a good weekend. Mike, how you doing, dude? Good to see that you found me lurking about the internet, doing my drawings, doing my sketches. Christopher, what's up, dude? Christopher says, hello there. Hope for hot Nira artwork. All right. That's something good to look forward to. I like that. I've got some of my cool brown chipboard, and I've got some pencils here to work with. Hopefully we'll come up with something cool by the end of the night. Ken, what's up, dude? Ken says, hey, I'm able to hop on for a few minutes. Very, very cool, dude. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to be able to hop on tonight. I'm glad you're here, man. Excellent. Kevin, what's up, dude? What have I missed? Nothing. You've missed nothing. We just started. I'm actually on time. I started right at 10 o'clock, just like I was supposed to. Some person, what's up, dude? Some person has indeed arrived. Mike says, just us boobs in the chat. Some person saying hello right back. Kevin says, hot Nira, you mean on a tanning bed? Or maybe with those Burger King hot heat lamps keeping her toasty? Chet, what's up, dude? Glad you're here, man. Chet says, second hour, I see Mirror's cover work to do. Ahem. It's possible I could work on that in the second hour, but that is something that cannot be auctioned because it's already owned. So that is a good possibility for the second hour. So maybe the first hour we'll do some sketching, and we'll auction off the piece, and then maybe for the second half of the show, we can sit down and chat and watch me draw on some things that already has some owners behind it. But it's I think it's cool to see the process of everything coming together. So that could be a good idea. I think I like that. Mike says, some person. Kevin says, Ken probably has a party tonight. Would not surprise me. Correct. Ken says maybe a piece in honor of the World Series where Allura is wearing a much too short baseball uniform skirt thing. That could be a possibility. Very, very cool. Kevin says, why not something unbuttoned? Some person says, so is this Nira stuffed like a turkey? It depends on the night. I'm not really sure what's going on. Chet says, of course not. Very cool. Kevin says, now I'm seeing Nira in the turkey costume. We don't want to put her in the turkey costume. But I do see that Nira seems to be the prevailing thought for the evening. So hopefully I won't, sometimes when I'm drawing, I'll kind of miss out on things that are happening in the chat. But we could start off with her face and then start kind of like putting a pose together a little bit, and then we'll just see where the ideas take us from there. Some person says, I know you like food and Nira, Bill, and this month is all food. You know what? Like some kind of Thanksgiving thing might be cool. I don't know, like a sexy Nira lying down on a Thanksgiving Day table full of food or something, surrounded by chicken legs or something. I'm sorry, turkey legs. Kevin says, not a French maid mercy. Ken Zazer? Well, obviously. What if okay, you guys are putting ideas into my head. You guys are definitely putting some ideas in my head. This could be a funny one tonight, but still sexy. And I'm thinking that it's going to be maybe Nira. I think Nira is going to be the Thanksgiving Day feast. Those are the ideas that you guys have been putting that have put in my head. It's all your fault. So if Nira is the Thanksgiving feast, maybe Mercy will be wearing some kind of French maid outfit, like she's about to serve food, serve dinner. Either that or just be grateful. Let's see. Well, I gotta start with her face. I always tend to start, unless opposed, like it all depends on drawing. Everything depends on everything. But I do, more often than not, I do tend to start with the face and start with the eyes, and then like the attitude of the eyes tends to dictate a lot of what happens in the drawing. Right now, it looks like Nira. I think Nira is going to actually be the Thanksgiving Day feast. Is that where? I think that's where we're headed. I think that's where we're headed, dude. I'll get a little bit of an expression on her face, and that'll help me dictate a little bit of like how the rest of the pose is going to come along. Yeah, this might be pretty fun tonight. I'll apologize ahead of time if I don't scroll up far enough in the chat to really catch up with the conversation where it's at, because I know you guys are saying stuff while I'm drawing, so I will look up in just a minute. Gotta put some little details down. Yeah, this could be a crazy little piece right here. The first thing I see when I look up is gobble gobble. Oh, bro, I think that's kind of the direction we're headed. Let's see here. I'm scrolling up a little bit here. All food, French. Yep, that's where we were, I believe. Some person says that could work. Her arch nemesis is at the table with fork and knife. That could be something too. That's something for the background that could work. That could work. Chet, you never did a Halloween Cyber Angel costume cover as well. That's true. That's true. We're kind of like leaning into Thanksgiving now. Oh man, yeah, it's like gobble gobble. That's the first thing I see. Who's your version of the Joker? That's kind of a good question. I like different iterations of the Joker for different reasons. I could say that Jack Nicholson was my favorite Joker, especially for the longest time, because he was like the first dark Joker that I really got exposed to. Who's my favorite version of the Joker? That is a good question. I enjoyed Heath Ledger's Joker a lot, but he is a very different Joker. But as far as my version of the Joker, that is a good question indeed. I think when I draw him, I usually somewhere in between like the animated series Joker and like a Brian Boland Joker. I think I really like Joker to have more of a gangster kind of look. I think Brian Boland's Joker had something, had a cool look to him. Not so much like he's like too twisted or too mangled. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like a little bit more sophisticated, but still, absolutely crazy. Here we go. Have a little bit of a smile on Nira's face. I think you guys have actually talked me into making Nira the actual feast. We'll see what we can get away with. Go. Do I actually have Nira on the table like she's a plate of food? I think this is going to be a Thanksgiving feast. There might be we could still put some little hints of Halloween in here. I'm not sure if this is stovetop stuffing or whipped cream. I don't know what's going on here, man. You guys have got me going in all kinds of directions. But at least the censors won't care because she's technically covered up. Even if she is covered up in food. I get a little worried because my monitor's flickering a little bit. I might have to get up and I have this little fix for it. It's a dumb fix, but it's basically just turning it off or just unplugging it and plugging it back in. And for some reason that fixes it. Very low tech solutions. Yeah, I think she's. I can't help but draw like Jello. There's always going to be Jello on a Thanksgiving table, right? There's always Jello. Here, we'll even put some little highlights on the Jello just to make sure. Pencil's already breaking on me. There we go. We'll put some other little highlights while we're at it. There we go. All right, let me see. I got to scroll up a little far. Here we go. Let me see if I can catch up with you guys real quick. I'll sharpen my pencil while I'm at it. Some person says, okay, I'll say some random stuff to get the chat going. This is good. That way we're all busy. I'm busy drawing. You guys are busy chatting. This is good. I'll do my best to keep up with everything. We're here to hang out with each other, so I mean, this is the whole point of doing this, man. So Nira being roasted by those around. She is. I think she's being roasted in kind of a lighthearted way. This isn't like a cannibal roast. I think but she's definitely on the table. Here, let me stand up real quick and unplug this monitor and plug it back in. I am going to make sure this thing stops flickering on me. The most low-tech fix possible. All right, that's me. That's me coming back. All right, got my little table light. It's weird. I got this little table light, and it works great, by the way. I've got no complaints about this little light that I've got on my table. But it does have this weird feature, which is actually a good feature to have, where if I stand up and move away from the table, it automatically turns off. I guess it's got a little motion sensor or something in there. And so it's a good feature because, automatically turns off if I'm moving away from the table. But it's weird because I don't expect a lamp to have that feature. So I keep on thinking someone else is turning off my freaking lamp. And when I sit back down, I got to turn it back on. It's like, bro, it's just a little lamp. A little LED lamp. Doesn't need to have autopilot. Here we go. Make sure I got the picture in frame. That would help. Got a good start on her so far. I like where this is headed. This is funny. This piece, if it ends up like I kind of think it's going to end up, I think we'll use this in her anniversary book. A lot of you already know I've been working on putting together a little anniversary book for Nira to kind of celebrate her 30 years, bro, of being in comics. So the whole book is comprised of basically people saying happy birthday to her from her rogues gallery. So the fact that she's basically a plate of food here. This could be a good piece to include in that rogue gallery thing. That could be really fun. You'll be wondering why Mercy is just over here serving her friends up as food for all the bad guys. I'm just kind of roughing in where how her leg's gonna rest on the table real quick. Give me an idea here. Because I'm gonna have other food and drinks and things like that kind of like overlapping her leg. So Just generally figure out where things are going in real quick. Okay, got a general little idea there. Little bottle of something. Mira's finest. Nira does have this this addiction to pizza. I'm gonna have to draw pizza somewhere on this table. There you go. Pencil back up a little bit. All right, let me catch up with the chat just a little bit, so I don't get too far behind with you guys. Ken, that's a good idea, and especially because of the general idea of maybe using this piece in that anniversary book too. So maybe having Delta Void with a fork and knife would be a really, really good idea. Kind of like that. We're going to have to make sure that we fit him in here. Make sure we got some room. But yeah, I agree. I like that idea a lot. There you go. Kind of start defining a little bit like how big the table is that she's on. And see, maybe Delta Void right around here. I like that we've been including Delta Void a little bit more often. We're being a little bit insinuating and predicting that the appearance of Delta Void in the book is coming. He's going to be part of the story here pretty soon. And a welcomed addition he will be. Eyes back here, looking nice and evil. Yeah, Delta Void's he's our boy, man. Gotta have Delta Void up in there. In true 90s fashion. I don't think I've ever drawn a tongue on Delta Void. You know what I mean? I kind of want him licking his chops like, he's like, oh yeah, table's looking good. So this could be a first for him. He's actually got a little, because Delta Void is all mechanical. You know, he's a big cyber guy. But I do like the idea that he's kind of licking his chops. There we go. Make sure we give him a nice big set of choppers back here. It's like, Nira, this has been coming along for quite a while. Like, you knew this day would get here. Yeah. I'm glad you suggested that, man. That's a good suggestion. I'll get his little cyber parts in here. All right, work on some other parts. We want to make sure we have enough room for Mercy to be back here too, because Delta Void's a big guy. He's going to take up a lot of this background here. Big old shoulder. All right, I'll do this little bit of an outline. I'll figure out where the chat's at again. I know I've been kind of dwelling on this part for a minute. All right, take a little break from that for a second. Revisit some of our comments from 15 minutes ago, and I'll catch up with you guys. Some person says, I like Nicholson's Joker. His scenes were always fun. Totally agree. He's tied with the Caesar Romero. Yes, he is. Yeah, he's like my dark. I mean, he got inspiration from that too. But like, other than Caesar Romero, I mean, he was my next Joker that I saw as a person. So yeah, I mean, I definitely compare the two. Caesar Romero is like my childhood Joker, and Jack Nicholson is like my late teenage, getting into high school, dark, edgy Joker. So I think he pulled it off really good. Says Heath Ledger was cool, but I like the other's style more. Yeah, I like the style. I like him being a little bit more of a gangster with even though it was like purple and crazy and whatever. It's like there was something upper shelf about him. You know what I mean? Kevin says, so is she to be covered in cranberries or mashed potatoes and gravy? I know, we're getting there. We're getting there. Pumpkin pie. Yes. Now we're talking. Whipped pumpkin pie, maybe some whipped cream. Now we're thinking. Got to make sure I got enough little spaces here for all these little ideas. Kevin says, I'll remedy that with thinking of her on the Dean Martin roasts. Let's see. Why did you say Nira getting roasted put bad thoughts in my mind? Let's see. Nira has less clothes than a nudist in a nudist colony. I know. She has a theme. She has a running theme. Kevin says, too late. Now I'm thinking of Nira as the serving tray for sushi. Somebody's saying, hey, yo, but they're saying, "Hey, yo," from one of our Facebook broadcasts. So for some reason, it's coming up as Facebook user instead of your name, unless your name is Facebook user. In that case, I will call you Facebook user. Sometimes Facebook, the chats on Facebook don't sync quite right with YouTube. Not really sure why. So I mean, if anybody's if you're listening on one of our or watching on one of our Facebook channels, yeah, I always encourage everybody to try and come over straight to our live YouTube chat, so that way it syncs up a little bit better. I don't know why Facebook has a problem sometimes, but I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Either way, glad you're watching, glad you're with us, man. Some person says, "Hello, Kat," if she's around. She is around. She is back here coloring away. We've got a bunch of deadlines, and she is working away. She's at the factory making the colors. You smacked the monitor. I had to. This is stupid. I had to kick it like Fonzie. Let's see. I already see 2 bowls of Jell-O. Yeah, I see more Jell-O coming. Jell-O is a nice, easy one. And who doesn't love Jell-O? Who doesn't love Jell-O? Some person says there's traditional stuff, but one can go crazy with the food. Yeah, for sure. It can get nuts. I just got a 70s Jell-O cookbook from a used book sale. Some weird things like molded ham and eggs. Oh my God. That's cool that you have that, though. That's so cool. Kevin says, now does it make me a cannibal if I want to hear? Silly eye roll. I'm afraid so, sir. Let's see, she's not 30. She's only 21. You should remember that, Bill. I know she's immortal. She never ages. Is she tied down or stuck in something? I think she's stuck in the food. But I tell you one thing, it's like just the expression on her face at this point, it looks like she's willingly stuck in the food. She seems to be a willing prisoner. Some person says, wait till Kat sees this one. Kevin says, I hear it now. Come and get a piece of me if you think you can. Oh, someone here likes thighs and breasts. So plump and juicy. I don't know. It definitely looks like she's thinking all of that. I don't necessarily know that she's saying all that, but she is definitely thinking all of that. It's a bottle of TSOTG Vino. Yes, you're right. I'm going to have to put that in there. That is the perfect place to put that. In fact, I'm going to make sure. Let me sharpen the pencil so that way this label is kind of small. I have to make sure I get it in here nice. TSOTG. Yes. I might have to put it a little bigger somewhere else. It's really small on this bottle. But we'll figure out how to do it. That's been a little inside detail on the Nira X books for quite a long time, and I don't even keep track of how many times or in what issues I have hidden that moniker in the books, but it is in the books in quite a few little spots. TSOTG. There we go. Make sure Delta Void has a nice little highlight in his eyes there. Some person says a cornucopia stuck on her butt somewhere else. Kevin says, I will not think about Delta Void saying, I'm going to fork you. Or somewhere else. Correction. Yes. Kevin says, so if the table is looking good, is it made of metal? That's a good question. I think it's a wooden table. I think I'm setting it up as a wooden table. But he's certainly considering changing his diet. Well, you know what? In the very first issue that Nira and Delta Void fought, he actually gobbled her up and swallowed her whole. Because that's the way Delta Void is, man. So maybe he's just happy that perhaps he has another chance at this. Maybe that's what's going on. Who's to say? Who's to say, really? I'm going to draw a little bit of Delta Void's little cyber detailing here so that we can tell where his body is at. There we go. He's got more of like a shoulder armor piece there instead of just a straight body. Always love drawing Delta Void because his body is so, it's metal, but it's always changing and moving and growing and taking different shapes and stuff like that. He reminds me a lot of like Warlock a little bit. Just the fact that he changes and manipulates his body constantly to like different little metallic shapes and stuff. She needs feathers. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Maybe, ooh, there you go. Feathers, that's a good idea. But I sort of see them kind of hanging off of her ankle, if that makes sense. So I'm going to... That's a good idea. I like that. That's a good visual. Little ankle dealio with a couple feathers. Kind of sexy. Here we go. Let me draw her foot in just a little bit more. That way we can see how the feathers hanging off her ankle. Kind of a sexy way to put that theme in there. I like that. It's a cool idea. Let me get the right angle on her foot. There we go. We'll do this little part of her leg. Are you a leg man? And maybe she might have a feather hanging off of the other ankle too. I'm not sure. Let me see how it looks. Let me see how it looks when I get this other leg kind of put into place. Yeah, maybe. I think I like that. Good idea, dude. Little drop shadow here. All right, we'll leave this right here for right now. Let me catch up a little bit more. Kevin says, oh, Delta Void, what a big tongue you have. Some person says Delta could be with the whole Void family. The kid Voids, the wife Void, Granny Void. Dude, it's like you put so many cool ideas in my brain right now. I hadn't really thought about theming him out like that before. That's a super cool idea. That could be a thing. But But I still got to leave some room for Mercy. Mercy's going to be back here somewhere in some kind of French maid outfit kind of thing. Ooh, you know what? I still got to. I mean, Delta Void's hands are huge, but I could still. I put his hand down here. So I remember you mentioned, or it might have been Kevin, mentioned about the idea of Delta Void having like a fork or a knife in his hand, which I thought was hilarious. That'd be funny. I like that idea. So, I mean, his hands are huge, so it's like we don't even see like his fingertips over here. It's like grabbing. I'm gonna have him grabbing a little fork or something. Like a little fork for him, but it's still like a huge fork. Yeah, this is gonna be a great piece, dude. He's good. He's good. I have a little highlight around this mouth so his mouth doesn't get lost. Because it's the area of like right below his face and kind of all over his chest is kind of the area is always like really dark and in shadow. But we got to see the fork. We got to see his mouth wide open. So I'll leave little highlights here and there for that. Maybe I'll go in with a white paint pen. I want to make sure that we see this fork well. It's silverware. It could be shiny. This will be a neat one to color up. Like with most of our pieces that we do on the show, they're all lined up on my iPad for coloring. So they're all going to eventually end up on our Patreon page, for the adult ones that have nudity and stuff in them, and a lot of them do, or they'll be modded to be as such. And then a lot of the ones, like I think this one, even though it's like this, I think this one I'll probably make a public post. It'll still be on the Patreon page, but you don't have to have a subscription to the Patreon page or you don't have to be a paying subscriber to get some of the posts. You can just go there, and some of the posts I will actually make into a public post, so that way anybody can take a look and download the high-res file and stuff. Yeah, we do these for fun, so this is good stuff. Let's see, Kevin Green says Mark Hamill, that's the Joker. I will say Mark Hamill's Joker is very, very canon, as far as in my mind, very, very canon to me, the way his Joker was portrayed. I think everybody brings a little something to it. I think maybe it's instead of picking my favorite Joker, maybe it's easier to pick my least favorite Joker, only because I think most actors and most people have brought something to it, have brought something really good to it. So it's like I think my least favorite Jokers is probably a shorter list. Some person says, Facebook user, are you Phil? Facebook user says, hot, hot, hot. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Actually, no, you're a Facebook user. I don't know if you're a bro, if you're a chick. You gotta let me know. Gotta let me know. I call everybody dude, so that's universal. That just goes for everybody. Actually, you know what I got to put here? I love chocolate chip cookies. And you know what? For Thanksgiving, why wouldn't I want chocolate chip cookies? But as far as what's probably sitting on her, it's going to be, I like the idea that was presented already, which was pumpkin pie, maybe some whipped cream. These are good ideas. These are noble ideas. I like how this is coming together. Let's see. Anira escaped from inside Delta Void by running as fast as she could until she was all pooped out. No. She came out the front end. She didn't come out the back end. Feather duster to tickle her fancy. I know that's what it kind of looks like with the feathers on her feet. But I did like that little bit of like thematically kind of putting a little bit of the. This right here kind of reminds me of like the way the turkey is, and putting the feathers up there. It's good. It kind of ties it together. I like it. Some person says a big pile of mashed potatoes, roasted corn on the cob. Now we're talking. Some person says Delta's big. I assume he eats a lot of that. Yeah, I don't know where everyone else is. I don't know what else is going on the old internets, or if people are working. They got other things going on. It's always a roll of the dice to see where everybody's coming from. I'm going to put at least one huge slice of New York pizza right here. Pizza happens to be Nira's favorite food. She does have a sweet tooth though, so she does like all of the other things that we like to think about. Cool. Yeah, maybe she spilled some of that TSOTG wine over here. There we go. Nice. Got all kinds of stuff going on this table. Yeah, the chat's a little bare today. I'm glad you guys are here, though. That's cool. Keeping it fun, man. Kevin says, Cheyenne would love hunting Nira with those feathers on. Indeed. I'm seeing the Void family like the Leatherface family. Kevin says, it's forking hilarious. Some person says, could be a ridiculously big pepper grinder. Right? Except for Jared Leto. Yeah, I don't like to point them out because, like, he's got the potential. You know what I mean? It's like he can. I'm completely convinced that he could totally pull off a great Joker if he was written differently. You know, it's like it's like I see the potential. You know, it's like he could have easily done it. He's a good actor, but you know, sometimes you can only work with what you've been given. You know, so. And there might have been a lot of people that really liked that version of the Joker. You know, it's like, you know, gangster and kind of like a little bit more street. It wasn't. It wasn't my. It wasn't my favorite Joker. But the only thing that's, and I don't mind them making different versions of things. You know, it's like it's not like I'm just so stuck on. You know, I like to see what people bring to it. You know, I like this people to be creative and do their thing. But you know, that doesn't mean that everything anybody comes up with is going to connect with people the way that you would want it to. You know, so they gave it a good shot. I enjoyed the Snyderverse for what it was, which in my mind it was an Elseworlds story. You know what I mean? It's like it was never really canon to me. I enjoyed it because I thought of it as an Elseworld story. It's you know, which you know that could give anybody a lot of latitude to do whatever they would like to do. Yeah, we're gonna have to throw some of this pumpkin pie over here now. Look at that. My pencil betrayed me. It broke. Time to get another one. Look, you've been replaced. Okay, well, the tip of the thing broke a little bit, but it's okay. We can carry on. She's clothed in food. She's wearing food clothing. Pumpkin pie and whipped cream are clothing. And she's thankful for it, so it sticks with the theme. There we go. I do kind of like it, just with basically Delta Void giving her this is your Thanksgiving situation, Nira. There you go. Let's set this right here for a second.
Baby's up to work.
Okay. Check this out. I'm getting an official first reaction from Kat.
Interesting. Why'd you put the pie on her butt?
I was trying to think of what else I could put on her butt, and I'm just like, we kept on mentioning pumpkin pie, and I'm just like, pumpkin pie, whipped cream, perfect.
Oh, freaking pizza slice in there.
Yeah, I had to put the pizza slice in there because that's her favorite food. We got some TSOTG wine, a little vino. Got some Jello because I need to take up some space. I'm not sure if that's mashed potatoes. Might be mashed potatoes. Could be stuffing.
Could be stuffing, yeah.
Yep. So that's this is where this is at right now.
Can you do like some rogue pieces of like macaroni?
I can do some rogue pieces of macaroni. See, Kat is contributing to our dementedness.
Yeah, the elbow pasta.
Yes, listeners. All right, elbow pastas.
That's my contribution. Is elbow pasta, macaroni, and cheese.
So just so you know, anytime you see some mac and cheese thrown in for good measure, that's Kat's contribution.
Mm-hmm. You can put an apple in her hand because, like, because usually like the pig with an apple, but with a bite out of it.
Yeah, an apple with a bite out of it. Yeah, I like that idea. I could. Yep, this hand is actually okay to do it with. I instantly looked at this hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, her hand's open. It's like she's dropping the apple, but she can actually be holding the apple on this one. So this is good.
I just someone had like tied her up like a pig, like the.
Yeah, that whole theme. Yep.
You need to put like one of those hams.
Yeah, I was wondering how I was going to do that, but I don't think I can. The apple is a good idea, though. I like that. Because like you said, like having the apple with the bite out of it. Mm-hmm. Yep, I love it.
I was going to say cranberry sauce, but it looks like Jell-O. So.
And being a black and white drawing like it is, it's like I don't know if when I draw it, will it look like cranberry sauce? It'll just look like Jell-O.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess with the ham, you can save it for Christmas because you have Christmas ham.
Yeah. There you go. Just drawing the bottom of the table in here like this so we can kind of see real quick. All right, let me catch up with you guys a little bit. We got some input from Kat. She's back to work.
I'm chewing on like some cereal, so let me know if you hear that. Because in my ears, it's loud.
No, I don't think I can hear anything. I think we're okay.
So if you hear little munchies, it's me.
All right, some person says, I like those Pepperidge farm cookies. The macadamia nut chocolate chip.
There has to be cookies.
Yeah. I put some chocolate chip cookies in here. I had to.
More cookies.
I had more cookies.
Because I didn't notice a cookie looking at it.
You can't have too many cookies.
Oh yeah, you can. But
let's see. Kevin will have to bid against himself. I know, right? I will, but for a bid of $1. The chat is as bare as Nira is. I'm telling you, yeah. I don't know. I got we got a few people here. There's some people also watching from our Facebook channel, so that's good too. So as far as the auction goes, yeah, it'll be kind of bare bones tonight. That's okay. We're having fun. And then we'll see if we can work on because Chet has a piece that I've been meaning to work on now for a little while. So we might actually work on that for a little bit tonight after we do our auction. That'll be like bonus content. Yeah. A little bit of bonus content. I haven't been streaming during the week. Usually when I stream during the week, Saturdays, that's the only day that I really plan on doing a sketch with the intent of auctioning off the art that we draw. So during the week, if you catch me drawing, it's usually drawing something that's either for a book deadline or a page that's already slated for something or a commission that's already belongs to somebody. I'm going to put some highlights over here. All right, let's see here. So we might work on that piece tonight for a little while, because that piece is going to take a little extra work. It's a nice complex piece. this here like this. You can see what's going on. That cool whip. Christopher says artwork looking fantastic, and the 2 posts on the club very nice. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. I'm glad you're liking the posts on the club. Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of there's a lot of pieces that are lined up to be colored up. So like this month in December, it's going to be very very Christmassy. We're gonna have a lot of new things to look at. It'll be a lot of fun. Right. Fatang, what's up? Big hello to Fatang. Glad you're here hanging out with us. Kevin says Maid Mercy is going to be so pissed when she has to clean up this mess. Yes, absolutely. You're not supposed to tell. Some person says it works. The thumb is behind holding it. Thank you. Yeah. I was actually happy that I didn't draw her thumb in yet. So now the thumb is definitely behind the apple. I drew that whole apple just so I wouldn't have to draw her thumb. Here, I'll put a little highlight on the apple. Very, very cool. All right, we're going to keep on working on this for a few more minutes. Let's see here. Just need to have a little bit of this action going on up here. And then we'll see what is happening with Mercy. There's barely enough room for her over here, but I think we can fit her in over here with a little surprised look on her face. I think that'll be cool. I think she's going to have a nice surprised look. Maybe she does have a surprised look that's basically like she's assuming she has to clean all this up, or she's just in shock that Nira is on the table as such. And then you can draw your own conclusions from there. Usually with this kind of pencil, I can't really erase. But if I draw very lightly, at least I can minimize it just a little bit, because I want to have, I like all the straight lines in the pic, so you could see like the thought process behind everything. That's one of the reasons I like drawing with this kind of pencil. But I didn't want to have it going like right across her face like that. I try to keep the lines minimal. There you are, Mercy. We always like drawing Mercy. This will be cool. I like the idea of Mercy wearing that little French maid outfit. I always like those little genres. They're fun tropes. There's a reason why those tropes exist. It's because they're fun. People like them. There we go. There we go. We sharpen this pencil up just a little bit. Give us a little something to work with. Here, let's see. I'll catch up with the chat here a little bit. Let's see. Some person says she just wanted some pie. Of course. There, put that right there. Just got to move some little things around here. So I just got some room to work with here. Kevin, totally agree. Everyone does want pie sometimes. For the background, maybe some curtains, a baseboard, something clean, very formal to contrast the whole scene. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. We'll see. We'll see how the piece keeps on talking to me. Put a little bit of shading on her little maid outfit here, so we know what we got going on here. Look at that little thing on the front. This is what kind of makes it. All right, let's see here. I like that. I like that. I feel like Mercy is basically surprised that she's serving Nira up like this. It's like, bro, traitor. Something to kind of, some shading here just to kind of frame the piece a little bit. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. Put some little highlights on this. Give it a little punch in some spots. I like it a lot. She'll just have the Jello. Christopher's saying that he will bid 45 tonight. Thanks, Christopher. I'm going to write it down over here. That way I don't have to scroll up. But we are getting towards the end of the piece. We'll go ahead. We'll open up the piece for bidding. I'll go ahead and just turn on the little ticker on the bottom here. And then we'll leave that open for bidding. I'm still going to be drawing till, I don't know, for the next few minutes. I'll let you know when we start getting close to a countdown. But yeah, we'll just leave it open for bidding. Thanks, Christopher. Christopher's in the room with 45 so far for this piece for tonight. And then after we do the bidding tonight, I may work on a second piece. I have a second piece, but I have to go to my shelf over here and find it so I can actually work on it. So we'll see. If I can find it quickly, then we'll work on that a little bit tonight also after our auction. Kevin says, wait, Delta Void doesn't have a birthmark, so he is Delta Void. Some person says, that bed came in as soon as you finished drawing that pair, Bill. Awesome. I keep thinking Delta Burke Void. Thank you. Hey, Christy Hand's in the room. How you doing, man? Chris says 47. That's awesome, dude. I'll write that down here. Awesome, dude. Appreciate it. Kevin says a pair like that would look better look better void any costume, don't you think? Kevin, yes, we'll go ahead and start bidding now. Yeah, I've got the little ticker going on, which is good because we're really almost at the end of this drawing right now anyway. So we've got all the elements that I want to put in there, and everything is good to go. Christopher, back in the room with 55. Thanks so much, dude. I'm just taking a second to write it down so that way I don't have to scroll all the way up. Christy Hand's in a room with 57. Thank you so much, dude. Is she behind the legs or in front? She seems a little bigger in proportion. Yeah, she's slightly behind, but you know when you're drawing things like on the spot, it's not going to be sized perfectly, but she's awfully close. Yeah, she's awfully close. I could have, at the size that I drew her, she could have been slightly in front or slightly behind. So I chose to put her slightly behind, and that is just where she lives. Bigger is better, right? Christopher is in the room with 60. Thanks so much, dude. You've got the big bid in the room so far tonight. I'll keep on going through the chat real quick, make sure I'm catching up with everybody. I mean, more with the head and body. Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree. But that's live art, man. That's the way it is. You know, it's everything is happening in real time, and this is the kind of thing where you can't go in and erase and reposition and do a lot of things. This is real live art. You put it down, and that's where it lives. Kevin says, "I take it Mercy is probably in latex. It cleans up better. I think so. It's nice. It's tight. It's shiny." Nira's secret kink. Some person says, looks like Nira is responding to her saying, "Hey, don't judge." It does. I can see how the size works. The rest of the body fills out. Yes. Cy, what's up? Cyborg Valkyrie. Good evening, everybody. Somebody appears to be a messy eater. Indeed. Very, very cool. She's playing with her food. This is so true, so true. I'll tell you what, I'll take an extra couple minutes. There's one extra little detail that I wanted to add just to kind of frame the piece together. No pun intended. I'm actually kind of trying to frame. That way I can theme it up, and then graphically it's I don't know, I like doing stuff like this to just kind of frame the piece up. And then when we have this all set, I'll make a good scan of it before I mail it out to the winner. And we're going to have a full color version of this on the Patreon page. And also may have a mod. I think I might do a little bit of a mod on this one too. Might have to modify Mercy's little outfit a little bit so that she's not wearing so much outfit. There we go. Let's see, according to my clock, I think it's like 11:20 right now. So we'll let it go for 5 minutes in case anybody wants to continue bidding on it. Let me see, let me find a pen right here. I'd like to put a little signature on here. There we go. Nice. So we'll give it 5 minutes so that way people can, just in case you want to bid on it. And then we'll do a little 10-second countdown, and this piece will go to the winner. And then we'll just, I need to go up on my shelf for just a second to find the other piece that Chet was talking about, because those are safely away from my table. I didn't come prepared. I don't have everything at arm's length, so I'm gonna have to reach over there and see if I can find that piece. Kevin says, "I'm not a bad girl. I have been framed." It's true. There you go. I'll pull the camera back just a little bit. That way you can see. And look, Kevin, just so you know, I could put it up this way. I could put it up this way. All right, we're going to leave that right there like that. Christopher is in the room with 60 right now, so he is the big bid in the room. Got, 3 more minutes left on this piece. You know what? While we're waiting for 3 minutes to pass, I'll take a minute and, oh, look, see that? I stood up and my dumb light turns off. There we go. I'll wait for 3 minutes to pass. And then I'll take that time, see if I can't find the piece. I hope you can hear me back here. So I gotta find this other piece that I'm working on, and we can work on it together a little while. If you want to hang out for a few more minutes, that would be awesome. Let me see if I could find it. If I can't find it right away, Chet actually has more than one piece back here to work on. So we'll work on one of them. But we'll let just a few more minutes pass. Actually, we might. You know what? I'll show you what it's like to work on a piece from scratch, because see, I have notes right here, and I can show you what it's like to kind of work on a piece from scratch and start formulating it from scratch. And we'll do that together. I think that would be fun too. One more minute, and we'll go ahead and call it. Just grabbing a sheet of paper, a good sheet of paper. Gotta grab a fresh one from the stock. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a glance at some of the other pieces that are coming. I think that would be dope. All right, on my way. That's what happens when you ask me to step away from my table to look for other pieces of artwork that I wasn't prepared to draw tonight. All right, here I come. All right, got some things here, got some things here. All right, here I am. She looks like porn just as she is. She does. All right, cool. Let me see. Let me scroll up, make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right, Christopher, you do have the biggest bid in the room. We're going to get ready to do a 10-second countdown. And I go by the chat on YouTube, our live chat on YouTube. So I don't call it out because like there's a delay. You hear my voice, and then that was like 5-6 seconds ago. So I do it with the chat. And I'm starting a 10-second countdown right now. 9, 8. And I type it in as soon as the field clears, I type in the next number. So that's the way I'm doing the countdown there. So 7, 6, 5. And I'm scrolling up just to make sure nobody else placed a bid, right? Christopher placed a bid for 60. I'm looking down the chat. And all right, we're all clear. We're set to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Zero, zero, zero. Sold. It is sold to Christopher. Please, everybody, congratulate Christopher. Thank you so much, everybody. Let me take this little, we don't need the little ticker. There you go. Jump back up to the comment thing here. Thank you, Christopher. You won this piece. It is yours for $60. Please, everybody, congratulate Christopher. While I write this down real quick. And just in case, Christopher, you may already know, obviously, but in the future, if anybody ever wins one of the pieces, the place that you send your PayPal to is right here at billmouseart@gmail.com. That's where you'll send your PayPal. And just please remember to include obviously, your name and address, your mailing address, all that good stuff. So that way I'd be sure to mail it off to the right place. Don't want to mail it off to the wrong place. We have a winner. Christopher Dehan says, nice. Some person says, bon appetit. Christopher, I finally won. It's yours, my friend. It is all yours. Just please remember to make sure you send me your mailing address again when you send me your PayPal on this fine evening. Chris Dehan says, congrats. Kevin is back in the room with, that will be, that's a high fiber diet. Awesome. All right, Christopher, I'm going to set this piece aside. This is your piece, dude. This is it. I'm going to make a very good scan of it so that way we can We can do some mods and some colors, and we'll post it online so that everybody can download high-res files of it. But the original, of course, is yours to be mailed in a box, flat, safely to your house. Very, very cool. All right, we're about an hour and a half into the show. And you can let me know in the chat, Christopher, when you send your PayPal over. That's totally cool. Yeah, just let me know that it's there. It's all set to go. I'm going to show you some other little things here real quick that we're working on, and these are for projects that are coming up. And I won't say too much about them, except for that they're knee deep. They're on the way. We got this awesome piece with Thalia the Cyber Demon. This is going to be a sweet piece. I can't wait to finish this piece. We actually have a couple of pieces, and these pieces are all these are Chet's pieces, and a lot of these they're Chet's ideas too. So this is going to be really, really cool to work on. And I'll let you know more details about like stories and which issues and books these are going to be kind of popping up in. But we do have this. Here we go. This is going to be an awesome piece, dude. This right here, Thalia perfect mode. And I gotta hide my notes. I gotta hide these notes. Got Thalia and Nira X in this cool piece right here. So we got a lot of cool things in the works. So I'm gonna set this to one side right now because we have to start on, because the piece that we're working on right now that Chet was mentioning earlier is a piece that we're starting on from scratch. So I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna show you some of the steps that we take to do that. All right, so this is a piece that is actually, it's going to be a 2-page spread. Checking out the chat real quick. That's cool. Very cool. Christopher says, thank you to everyone. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Hey, Josh, how you doing, dude? Josh says, looks cool. Thanks, Josh. Glad you're hanging out with us for a few minutes tonight. Awesome, awesome. We just had our little art auction that we do every Saturday, and now we're going to work on something else for the next 30 minutes or so. Putting together a separate piece. It is actually a 2-page spread that involves a mirror and reflections and characters. It's going to be a lot. I'm even looking at the notes myself. I'm looking at the way I wrote them down. This is the way I kind of thumbnails things out. And Chet, feel free to jump in here, and because we could show people a little collaboration. Hopefully you're still there. We're going to show people a little collaboration on how we talk through some of our ideas, and that way people can see how we do what we do when we do it. Going to be very, very cool. Kevin Green says, send those to me. Awesome. Thanks, Christopher. I'll make sure to check my PayPal and make sure that came through okay. I'm sure it just needs to refresh. It's on the way because you just barely sent it, so it'll be there in just a second. Kevin says we like things that are spread. Josh says not too bad. Starting some voice work. Awesome. Chet says I am. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Platinum, what's up, dude? Platinum says sorry I'm late. Hi, can we get a Club Corrupt fulfillment update? And is Tom going to get back from vacay and send out Nira X anytime soon? Yes, he's. I forgot what date he's getting back, or if he's back already. But he started the process right before the vacay, and as soon as he gets back, it's jumping right in again because I think he got all the materials that he needed. There were some things that were damaged from the printer and things like that. So I know that those things were taken care of. So as soon as he gets back, he's going to get right back to work on it. So that'll be all good. There we go. Let me just set that over there real quick. Let me get my other pencil. A pencil and an eraser. There we go. That way we know what we're working on here. Oh, here we go. Oh, and you are also looking for a Club Corrupt fulfillment update. Yeah, we're still working on it. We have been sending out books very slowly all month. But I'm still doing sketches on a lot of them, on the ones that are actually left. So I think we're like at 60% or something like that fulfillment on the Kickstarter, like as far as like the whole list. So yeah, we're just continuing to work on it. My goal was to have everything done by the end of last month, but the sketches are taking a little bit longer than I kind of anticipated. So my goal now is to make sure I get them done before the end of this month, and it should not. I really want to start December fresh, so that's where the fulfillment is on that. We're working heavy on it, so we're making sure we get it out as soon as we can, but also not rushing the sketches too fast because I want to make sure that the sketches are all good. So Josh says, but we probably say much. Chet says, technically thinking of another Last Supper piece too. Ooh, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. And we've also got some big paintings in the future too. It's like we got some big canvases, some big paintings to look forward to. That'll be cool. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Just catching up on the right one. Josh says, probably can't say much. Some person says, Bill Money would be a good pseudonym. Chet says, Bill, did we finish that Behind the Glass of Us and Thalia? No, we didn't finish that one yet. That one is, but I'll show it to people. I'll show it to everybody. I'll show you progress. Christopher is asking, hey, Bill, by any chance, can you check? Yeah, I'm looking at the PayPal screen over here, but it still has not come through. So if you want to double check on your end or anything like that, or you did send it through PayPal, not Venmo, correct? So just want to double check with that. Let me show everybody this piece. Chet was asking if we finished this piece. This is the piece where in the shattered glass in the background here, we're going to have myself and we're going to have Chet back here. So you got the broken glass and like this whole dealie on this, like, and then the throne is like really organic with like the skull and coming down and blood and all that good stuff. So yeah, this piece is going to be super, super dope. I can't wait to finish this piece. But this is where we're at with this one. This is so you see the progress that's on here. And you notice a lot of you might ask if you didn't see in the Reborn story, in the first story that Thalia showed up in, she tried to bond with one of the cyber angels, with one of the cyber orbs, one of the cyber skin orbs, and it didn't take, but it still changed her. It still made her more powerful, and she just took the most equal parts of the cyber angel powers. You know, it's like kind of like she turned it into something unique, into something that's her own, but she's still connected. You know what I mean? So Kevin says, Chet, I think the art he just created qualifies for Last Supper status. Chet says, nah, Kevin, Last Supper way different. Yeah. Because Chet's gonna have a whole new idea for that. And we briefly went over it before, so we'll go over it in detail so that way we know what we're doing. Oh yeah. Platinum says, by the way, the little tiny fork in tonight's piece was hilarious. Very nice work. Thanks, dude. That Thalia throne piece is one that went for almost 900, right? Thought that was inked already. No, it's like that one's. I'm taking my time with that one. That one's going to be part of a story that features Thalia, and Chet's actually helping me with that book, and with a lot of the things here at the studio. Chet's very, very involved. He's part of our Entity Comics family here, so that's going to take a little bit more time to work on and to put together. We got a special project to put together for that. So, Chet, you take a look at here at my little thumbnails. I've got what appears to be Nira looking in the mirror, and what appears to be Nira looking in the mirror, with possibly evil Nira looking back at her, with possibly Thalia looking back at Nira. So I want to make sure that we got all those little details right. So that way people see like the little back and forth that we have when it comes to creating a piece from scratch and coming up with ideas from scratch. So what I'll do is I'll work on the one piece, and we'll spend like a good 20-30 minutes working on it, so that way people can see just how it kind of comes together. In the meantime, though, let's see what I can do. I think I want to start working on the one on the right first, which is like, it looks like I have Nira looking at evil Nira looking back at her, which is kind of cool. And we have a whole concept behind this thing. So Christopher says, looks awesome art. Okay, I think the money is sent. Yep, I'll refresh the page real quick. Yep, you're good to go, Christopher. Thanks so much, dude. I'll make sure that I got your address on the thing here. Just double checking. Yep, I've got your address on the thing. We're all good to go. Christopher, you're all set, brother. Thanks so much, man. So much fun tonight putting that piece together. Love it, love it, love it. Chet says, I think it was one page Thalia looking at ENX. That's right. Yeah, because her delta's on the right cheek. That's what we have her facing this way. So this is ENX looking at Thalia. And then the other vice versa, but I think it had some humor in it. Is it ENX? And because what it looks like from the sketch, from what we were talking about, like it looks like whoever is in the mirror is ENX, is evil Nira, and Nira is looking at the mirror at herself. Well, looking at evil Nira. Josh says, wicked evil Nira. Been so long I forgot. I know, that's why my thumbnails, when I take notes, I always do these little stick figures, and I remember better because of the stick figures. So with here, I'll hold it up really close to the screen here like this. So this one, the one on the left, we have ENX looking at a reflection of Thalia, probably like looking at her like evil, like conniving, right? And then with the other one, the mirror is going to be ENX. And then we have Nira looking at her. And I think the humor is the fact that it's like, Nira looking at evil Nira through the mirror. So I think that's the way we thought of it. I think that always drawing little pictures always helps me remember a lot better. Yeah, in a twisted way. Platinum says, maybe she's just misunderstood Nira. But then we couldn't call her ENX. Like it rolls off the tongue good. Chet says, no, I'm sure ENX and Thalia only are usually don't involve Nira. Okay, this is cool. This is, you know what? Then I know what's happening here. I know, especially because I've got the little headband thing here. Yeah, it is evil Nira looking up at Thalia. That's what's going on. That is what's going on. You're correct. Anytime I see the delta with a stick figure, I just automatically assume Nira. But because I've got the headband and the hair like this, that's Thalia's look. That's Thalia's dealio. So it's essentially the same scene, but from the two different perspectives. So that's what we're shooting for. Nice. Perfecto. All right. Well, the thing to do now then, we'll figure out the general size of our mirror. Probably not that angled. You know, it'd be faster than erasing it. A whole new sheet of paper. It's just a little orb. I can erase that later. That way I can save the paper. But I need to do this a little bit standing up, a little bit more at a better up and down angle. Yeah, now we're talking. So I have to leave enough space over here for Evil Nira to stand, but still make the mirror wide enough over here so that we can see Thalia really good. So when I'm penciling things in, it's kind of like sculpting in a way, you know. I just keep on, like the mirror looked a little bit too thin right now, so now I'm making it a little bit wider to make sure that there's enough room in the mirror for me to draw the character. Kind of picturing it in my head as I go. And then it's kind of cool because the backgrounds for this, because ENX is actually, Evil Nira is looking in the mirror, so she's got like this cosmic kind of like, you know, sci-fi background for her room where she's actually at, and then the room where Thalia's in, like she's much more gothic, castle, stone, pillars, and things like that. So that's going to be really fun to show off like where they're looking at each other from in the first place, because they come from two very, very different places. Got to have a cool vampiric kind of feel to Thalia's stuff. So just taking away some of the scratchy lines. Don't need to have a lot of things in the way. And in the back of this mirror can be like something more, something a lot more sci-fi, something more futuristic. Since this is where Evil Nira is at, and she's more of a sci-fi gal, cyberpunk-ish situation. And I always love drawing like arbitrary cybernetic stuff. It's just really cool. Even though it's like metal and machines and stuff like that, it's still very organic to draw. And doing something like this, like we can make little course corrections and little changes all along the way, or if we see something that we want to change later, we can make some little changes. Getting that rough pencil in here is key for everything that we want to get done. The way that we did the drawing on the brown paper just now for the auction, that's more of a fluid, that's a freestyle type of drawing, as opposed to, you know, really sitting down and putting in all of the construction lines and figuring out where we're figuring out a lot of things that we just don't know until we get it down on paper, and then we can make adjustments as we go. So it's a lot slower process. But every process has its own positives. Totally misunderstood. Chet says, what's the comment on the second section of the notes? Oh, well, I was experimenting with two different ways of doing the same exact idea. So this way, basically you got like their full body standing up and down, like they're standing in a room looking at a tilted mirror, kind of this very straightforward kind of style, where one's looking off to the left, one's looking off to the right. And the other way I was thinking of maybe doing it was a lot more straightforward. But I like seeing the bodies, I like seeing the characters at more of a 3/4 angle, because you get to see more of them and you get to see more of their expressions and stuff. Where if I did it more straightforward, like Evil Nira is looking right into the mirror, I mean, it would make a cool design. It would make a cool composition to have like the two sides of the mirror when you put the two pieces together. It would be cool because it makes this circle, and you got the characters looking at each other like this. But I chose to do it this way instead, because you get to see more of them, more expression, as opposed to looking just right at their back. Looking right at their back and then right at their front, really, really small on the mirror. So that's what these two things are. It's exact same scene, just from two different angles, a little bit. I'm glad I read that. I'm glad that you were asking. Here we go. And see, that's another reason we want to put in all these construction lines, because look how big. Let me see. Let me put this back just a little bit. That way you can see a little bit more of the paper all at once. So what's happening right now is something I got to totally fix. I got to completely change it, because look how big I'm drawing the figure over here, and she needs to be standing head to toe. I mean, her feet need to be right here. And at the size that I'm drawing it right now, like, her feet will end up being off the bottom of the page. So that's something that I need to start I need to start. And the top of her head needs to be right around where I started it. But everything else needs to, it's got to get shrunk down. It's got to get shrunk down. So I was hoping that it would just fall into place, because, I draw a lot of comics, and a lot of times I'm eyeballing things and it just tends to fall into place. But we have a specific task. We have a specific set of goals for this piece. So I can't really freestyle as much with something like this, and just hope that it falls into place. So that's why we have to draw in the stick figure first, because we need to know that the foot is going to land right around here. So if the foot is there, that means I really got to think about how big or how small the rest of the figure is leaning into it. It takes a few more minutes, but it's worth it, because we had a specific idea that we're trying to get across. And then once I have kind of a stick figure of where she's supposed to be, then we can start kind of tightening things up. So I drew her a lot more loose, a lot more fast, just so it's like, all right, let's see where her knees would fall. Let's see where her toes would actually be. Let's see where her, because once you get kind of a scale of where you have to end up, like her feet have to end up here if I want to pull off the idea that we've got on the thumbnail. So that's the thing that makes a piece like this requires a lot more thought, requires a lot more planning. But it's fun to share that with you guys, so you guys see what goes into putting something like this together. When I don't have as many targets that I need to hit, the artwork of course, comes along way, way faster, because as long as the piece is looking good, and she, if she's looking awesome, it's like I could draw her just as awesome as I can draw her. But if her feet didn't end up right here next to her, because she's looking into this mirror, and then I've got to have Thalia in the mirror looking back at her, and she has to be a specific size. And I just can't. I can't sit down like I'm at the computer and just scale her up or scale her down. So that's what takes a little bit more. So it's very much like I equate it to sculpting, because I'm constantly looking at the shape that I put down, and I'm taking away from it. I'm trying to add to it until it finally comes out the way that we had planned it. Much easier to just rough in where the arms go, because we already know. The hardest part was figuring out how big to make her torso, her head, and everything, so that her feet would end up where we wanted her feet to end up. That was the thing that really took the gigabytes. The CPU in my head was working extra hard to make sure that we could meet the actual target. Chet says, okay, so I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I was scrolling up wondering how far behind I'd fallen. Chet says, looking into the mirror, basically. Exactly. Yep. Just looking into the mirror. But then the other piece now is going to be the exact opposite of this, where Thalia is looking into the mirror and Evil Nira is looking up at her. So that's the cool thing about this 2-page piece. But it does take some planning. It does take some work. I'm glad that we started working on it tonight. It made it more fun because we could share it with people. Chet says, I think ENX was picking Thalia because of the delta changing. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Because Thalia's delta on her cheek, it always looks like it's dripping, and like a Rorschach mask. It's kind of like it's always dripping or doing something weird on her face. Yeah, that was the background. Yep. Yeah, you had an awesome idea with this piece, dude. You had a really, really cool idea with this piece. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, I like that whole castle motif. I like being able to come up with that, and that's even very organic to draw too, because the stone, all the masonry and stuff is actually pretty organic. It's not like drawing. It's not like drawing modern buildings where you're very rigid. Not that anybody's like really picking it apart, for accuracy and stuff like that. It just needs to look cool, but your mind, because those are the kind of buildings that we have in real life, like a modern building. If I draw it weird, your brain kind of picks up on it, whether you want to or not. So it's like you might not be able to kind of like verbalize like what exactly I got wrong, or maybe you can. I'm not perfect, but your brain picks up on it. It's like there's something about that that's not right. It's like something's weird about it. But that goes for anything that we see every day. Like if I draw a face and there's something weird about a face, because we see each other all the time. We see faces, we see people all the time. So your brain does pick up on things like subconsciously, so if it looks weird and it's and not in a cool way, it's like sometimes your brain will let you know that that's not cool, and you're kind of stuck. I mean, it's just the way it is. You have to figure out how to do it. I love drawing. That's why I like drawing stuff in either medieval times or in the future, because most of the buildings and structures and things like that are very made up, very organic. So I can just get away with so much and still make it look cool, and 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 make more original things. Chet says Platt, he has enough of my art until 2029. Okay, I missed one of your things. Okay, Platinum says, are you going to incorporate more commission pieces into Saturday night so we can see? Yeah, you know what? If you guys enjoy seeing that, let me know, because this will be a great way for us to relax. So for the first half of the show, we can do a jam sketch together like we always do, and we'll auction it off to one winner, and then after we do the auction, we can keep on drawing for a few more minutes, and I could show you what I'm working on. I could show you some of the process. I'm really glad Chet is with us tonight, because since Chet has commissioned so many pieces, and we work with each other often on creating more things. So it's like you get to see some of the creative back and forth. It's like, oh, this is my idea, or this is this. Then I get to show you some of the notes that we had from before, so you could see like the different steps. I love seeing the process myself when I'm watching other artists. So if you enjoy seeing that process as part of this show, you like seeing what we're working on and seeing how it's coming together, I'd be all about continuing to do that, because that's what this show is about. It's about giving us a reason to hang out, and giving us the things that we talk about is always going to be comic book related. It's always going to be related to the projects that we're working on, and having a good time, man. Just chilling out, having a good time. Yep. Chet, got Bill thinking tonight. Always keep him on his toes. Yes. Even back when we first met, back in the early 2000s. But that's one of the things that's how Chet and I became friends. So he was keeping me straight, making sure I was. He's kind of, artists. Our brains go everywhere. So it's good to have a touchstone. Good to have somebody that's got our back. Platinum says, also seeing the process is so neat. Thank you. Maybe you can learn us a thing or two. I hope so. Yeah. If there's anything that I can impart, that would make me happy to do so. It makes me happy knowing that anybody gets any kind of value from either watching the drawings happen, or maybe I show you some of the techniques or shortcuts. Any of that stuff is all good, and that makes me happy to do it. So Chet says, and the reason for the mirror, it was a Club Corrupt donation and all. So it was a spur of the moment, different, out of the usual ways of doing things. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, we're thinking way out of the box, which is cool, because it's gonna be a sweet piece. It's gonna be a sweet piece to use. Ken Zazer says, I'm back, and that would be a great way to knock out commissions too. I agree. And plus, it's like it motivates me too. It keeps me creative. Being able to talk with you guys and actually work on this stuff live with you for a little while, and it's it kind of, for me, it provides a little bit of studio time. You know what I mean? There's a lot of us, a lot of the artists that I know, a lot of the people that I work with. Everybody lives far apart, but the internet makes the world small, so we get to hang out for a few minutes. It's live. You get to see like what we're working on and stuff, and we're all, I think, like-minded people. We enjoy the same types of things and stuff. So yeah, it just makes me nothing but happy. Ken says, I try to keep Bill focused, but I keep thinking and bothering him. No, you're not bothering me, bro. Not at all. I live for you guys, man. You guys are the group that I live for. So it's all good. But we are past the 2-hour mark for tonight. So this is as far as we're getting with this piece for tonight, just because I'll need to rest, grab a snack. But I'm glad that we could get this far. And you know what? Next time, on next week's episode, I'll probably work on this a little bit during the week, and then we could pick up where we left off next week, and we'll continue working on this 2-page, because it's a 2-page spread. It's either a 2-page spread or it's a wraparound cover, or it's going to be 2 separate covers that go together, that sit side by side. So it's going to be one of those things. But this is part of the process. So, and you guys get to see how the ideas come together and see how we actually get to the final product and actually have content, and then be, because you guys collect and because you guys are reading and actually picking up the stuff, it makes it possible for us to make more of it and have more fun. So that's what it's all about. So I think I got, you know what? I'm pretty sure I got a chipwich in the freezer. That's what I'm going to eat. I'm going to have a chipwich. I'm going to rest my back for a few minutes, and then and then we'll see if I'll work on some stuff tonight or probably get some sleep. But this was awesome. I love hanging out with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the weekend. If I do any live streaming during the week, it'll just be at really random times. So, I hope you catch it. And if not, they'll be posted on YouTube either way. And thank you again for enjoying the show and all that good stuff. So I guess I will say goodnight because and I still got that little Christmas outro. I'm gonna keep on using this until Christmas is over. Then I'll make a new one. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to each other again. Thanks so much. Enjoy the weekend. Talk to you soon. All right, bye.
Good night, Seattle.